Okay, so what we are doing, you guys are making a bread dough. What I want you guys to think about is what are we using for our leavener? What's our leavener? Anybody remember? Yeast. Okay? Is it a living organism? Is it a chemical?
Living.
Living. So what do we need to do first? Activate it. Okay. One person from your group. Listen up. One person from your group. Come grab a recipe. Just one from your group. Then we need to identify one person from your group getting your ingredients. Okay? So, one person from your group. Let's give some thought. Don't move yet. Do not move yet. Guys, listen up. You're going to use half white flour, half wheat flour. Okay? Your wheat flour is right over there in the little orange thingy, bags. Okay? So you're going to have 2 cups of wheat flour and 2 cups of white flour. You can grab the orange bag and bring it to your station, but the white flour you'll have to measure over there. Take your bowl over there and measure your white flour. Now, one person from your group, what do we have to do with our yeast? We have to activate it, right? One person, grab the yeast packet. Myron, raise your hand. Where Myron is, your yeast packets are. They're small individual packets, and we're going to have to activate your yeast. Everybody grab a packet. You only need one. Hold on. I got scissors. Okay, so we're going to make this easy.
Do we have a cup or?
What's the temperature?
110 to 150.
Yeah. 2 cups of each. You can take a bag of the flour from here. We're going 2 cups of white, 2 cups of wheat. Take a moment. Look at your recipe though. Scissors are right there for the yeast. So let's take a look. You're going to need a glass bowl, or you can use your glass measuring cup, because you're going to have to put a cup of water and you're going to have to heat it up. So everybody needs to find their thermometer. Have one person locate a thermometer. Everybody has to locate a thermometer. Okay? Okay, we got to activate our yeast. So in doing so, you guys are going to have to microwave your water. Who remembers how long you microwaved it yesterday? How many seconds? 25 seconds. And what temp did that get you at? 110 to 115.
You said 1 cup.
1 cup of water.
1 cup wheat.
No, I said half wheat, half white. Which means if you have 4 cups, 2 and 2. 2 cups wheat, 2 cups white. You're going to fluff that flour in there.
What kind of sugar do you want us to use? White sugar?
Those of you who are moving ahead, you're also measuring your white sugar.
You do it, I'll do this. Because I can't actually do it.
Read your recipe. 101, read your recipe. Everything I'm telling you is on your recipe. First things first, let's activate our yeast. This is actually what are we doing? Once you have put your water, once you've got your water to 110 or 115, you're going to have to put your sugar in there, okay? Once you have your water to your 110, 115, You're gonna need to put your sugar in there. Why are we putting sugar in there? Feed the yeast, absolutely. So let's get your thermometer. Let's see where we're at. Heat it up in increments of about 10 and don't put the thermometer in the microwave while you do it. Okay, where's your water? Okay, you guys gotta work as a team, you gotta communicate. You need your yeast activated. Okay, so what are we gonna do? Cup of water, heat it up to what degree, Bella? Close, keep going. 110, 115. So microwave that water. Yesterday, you guys tested that out. How many seconds did it take to get to 110 to 115? Yep, you're right. Don't say that.
For the yeast, for the.
Did you guys get your 2 cups
Okay,
of
fluff your flour. Make sure you get your flour integrated. Make sure I show flour all over you, sorry. So we want to mix our flour. Make sure it's mixed together. You can use a whisk to do that. Nice job, Myron. 2 cups and 2 cups. 110 to 115. Now, just put your sugar in there. Okay. Make sure, hold that thought. Once you have your water to temperature, you're gonna mix that sugar in there. How much sugar does it ask for? 2 tablespoons, and you're gonna stir it around to dissolve the sugar. Then you're putting that yeast in.
Oh, in there?
Yeah, you can't do that. Yeah, I'll start over. Okay, your sugar goes into your water. Okay, look at your directions. I'm talking you through, but you still have to look at your directions. So listen up. Everybody give me a heads up for 1 moment. Heat your water to 110 to 115. Put your 2 tablespoons of sugar in and dissolve it. Then add your yeast and stir it up, okay? Heated water, then your sugar, then your yeast, and then we'll move on. Okay? Anybody need help? You're good? Okay, do not microwave the plastic bowl though. Fluff up your flour. Make sure our flour is nice and fluffy. We're airing it. Jeez, I got top chefs over here. Where you at? Scissors. Open your yeast machine, scissors. One more thing you have to think about. Look at your recipe. Are there other ingredients you need? There's more than one person in your group. You need to work together. Okay, how are we doing on our yeast? Doesn't taste good, trust me. Very earthy. Remember, it's a fungus. No. Okay. So, how are we on our yeast? Good on time? You're gonna dissolve your sugar in your water, then put your yeast in. Make sure your sugar's dissolved in your water. Again, why are we putting sugar in water?
Make it hungry.
To make it hungry. So that it produces what? It farts. It produces carbon dioxide. It farts.
Do we mix
Okay?
it with the yeast then?
Yeah. So let's stir it up. As long as you dissolve your sugar. And then you're gonna let your yeast sit for a couple minutes. We should see some foamy. Okay, what's that mean? Okay, so what's in here? Okay, so let's grab our sugar. Put your sugar in. Get your sugar. Let's get your sugar going. What do you have in here? Hey, if you're moving ahead, raise your hand. You're going to slowly, you're going to add your yeast, but you're going to slowly add your flour.
So take a cup down of flour and just put it in your bowl. Just that way. And then you can slowly integrate that.
Once your yeast is ready, you should have a bubbly, foamy, living little creature going on. Now let it set. Okay? You're going to let that sit for a couple of minutes, and it should foam. So let your yeast sit. It's going to eat sugar, and it's going to get all foamy. You need to stir this. So let's get this stirred up a little.
This is so weird.
Just trying to get some of this jazz.
This is disgusting.
It smells weird and it's clumpy. Here. Okay?
What?
Your salt goes in with your flour. Before you put your flour in your stand mixer, you're going to slowly integrate your flour. So let me see your yeast. Wow, you got some stuff growing.
Yeah.
It does.
Mom, what's all added in
Yeah, it's kind of gross looking, isn't it? Okay. So, your butter needs to be melted. Okay, let's get your butter melted if you haven't done that. Yes, sir. Okay. How many of you are ready with your yeast? If your yeast is foaming and good to go, you're going to pour about 3 cups of flour into your stand mixer of your flour. You need to make sure you have the curly dough hook. Someone on your team also needs to be melting your butter. So let's not forget your butter. On my way, Kara. Liquidy is fine. We don't have any eggs in this, so we're not going to curdle. Where is your dough? I don't know. What's your directions say?
And then do we slowly start adding both of them?
One more time.
Do we slowly start adding both of them?
Sorry.
I added this, do I slowly start adding?
Yeah. You're gonna add this, then add that, and stir. So add your flour. Add 2 cups of flour. Then add your yeast. I'm looking. And then slowly add more flour. What did I just say? Okay. So you're going to add your flour, right? Add a couple cups of flour. Add your yeast. Slowly start stirring it, and then slowly add your flour in, okay? Yeah. One more time? Well, how are you going to measure it? That'll be the easier way. So use your butter knife. Just use your butter knife, look at the lines, and cut your tablespoons, and that'll be easy, okay? Anybody have a spare dough hook? I'm on my way. Let's look at yours for a minute.
You have a lot of flour. That should all be in here. Should be mixing in there. But we're gonna wing this. We'll grab a piece of parchment paper.
Fan, did you need a dough hook? Okay, come grab this one. And and we'll deal with that in a minute.
Yeah, I'll get that.
Okay. If your dough is close, raise your hand and I'll be right there. We're gonna get rid of that, not worry about it. That down. You're gonna need probably a cup of water and you're gonna have to moisten that up. And then you're gonna need it. You're gonna go like this, turn, this, turn, for about 5 to 6 minutes. Are you gonna wanna integrate this, so add some cold water. Put cold water on your hands and it won't stick. Okay? Yeah, you need to add this in here,
We need to add the butter.
and you need to start mixing. Okay?
All our flour.
You're gonna slowly add your flour in there.
Is this ready?
Yes. What is this? Okay, did you already put it in your yeast? Okay, so just leave that there and you're good, okay? Okay, you wanna be mixing that in. Are you missing any ingredients? Okay, get your butter, that should be going in there. Yep. Pour this into your bowl, your stand mixer, okay? Not all of it, but let's go half, okay? Okay, and what else? You need your yeast. Get your yeast in there. If you want, yeah. If you're adding a flavor in there, pour all of that in there. We're gonna get that stirring, and then we are gonna add, you're gonna be adding this flour slowly, okay? You're gonna need your butter in there, okay? And then slowly just keep adding your flour.
Seasoning.
Okay?
Hey, calm down.
You're good.
Oh my gosh.
You're gonna put probably half your flour in your stand mixer. Okay, you're good there. You need to put your flour in there. Go half of it, and you're slowly gonna add the rest as you mix. Brianna, do you need something? Let's look, ladies. Let's take a look. Okay. I know, but integrating this now, right, already got a really good dough that started in there, and I would use this. Okay, this is a nice pliable dough. I would not work this anymore, okay? So what I would do is we're gonna rest this a little. You're just gonna let it sit there, take that bowl. Oh my gosh. This one here. Take the other, take a clean bowl. We're just gonna put that over it and just let it rest. And right now, you can do some cleanup, and then we'll tell you what to do with that. Yes. Absolutely. That's looking good. So let's get all your stuff out of your way that you don't need. Okay, nope, you'll have to shove over here just a little bit for me, so I can see. That looks good. So we're gonna take this out. We're gonna grab your dough scraper.
We're just gonna
Let's
wait
look at
instead
this
of
for
it.
a moment.
We're just gonna wait.
The white scraper. There was one in every drawer. Oh, that's not that one here. No, that's a spatula. Yes, okay. So this is your dough scraper. That's gonna scrape all this out of here. You're not gonna integrate it. We're gonna dump it. We're not using that. All of it. Okay, so we're gonna need this. You've got some spaces here. They didn't mix all the way. So get some cold water, okay? Okay, so we're gonna put some cold water on this so that we can hopefully integrate this together, right? So the nice thing about this is if this is too sticky, then what do? Add flour. So you're gonna knead it, you're gonna get a little dirty, and we're gonna go heel, pull it over, heel, and turn, okay? We're gonna pull it over and turn, pull it over and turn. You're gonna do that for about 5 minutes, okay? And then you're gonna come grab it. We're gonna get you a little more room, okay? Where are you guys at? No, it is right. So grab a big piece of parchment paper, right over there. Right behind your, right there. Big white sheet, yep. As your dough gets ready, just raise your hand, I'll be right there. While one person is working, someone else can be cleaning up. Okay, so this is your dough. You're gonna need some cold water also, because it's getting a little dry. So get a thing of cold water, just a cup. And then I'll show you what to do. Gabby, how are you? Okay, I'll be right there. Okay, so we're just gonna use some water. Totally not measured, okay? We just need to kind of get this a little moister, okay? So we're gonna get some more moisture there. If we have enough moisture and it gets too wet, what do we need to do? Yeah. Okay, so now grab a cup of flour. And we're just gonna pour right there. Pour some of that right here. Yeah, just douse it. More, you can be more aggressive. So we're just gonna dry this up now. Give me 1 sec, Mary. And you're gonna knead it. So that's garbage. So you're just gonna knead it. When you're kneading, you're gonna go like this, palm. You're gonna turn it, pull it forward, and palm. Turn it, pull it forward, and kind of palm it. You'll do that for about 4 to 5 minutes, and then I'll come back, okay? What you got? Yeah, you can get, all your butter's not in there. Okay? And you're gonna need some moisture. You need to be kind of watching this part. We got a whole pile of unmixed flour. Okay? So that won't work for you, right? So we're gonna use what we have. Okay? I'm not gonna worry about all that other flour. Grab a big piece of white parchment paper over there. Right there, right in front of your hand, right in front of your hand. Look down on the table.
On the table.
There you go. You're good, you're almost there.
I am so blind.
Okay, so we're gonna put that right down here, and we're gonna knead this, all right? This is a nice dough, but let's not complicate it with all that stuff. So, you're gonna use the palm of your hand, pull it forward, and turn. So we're just going forward and turn, pull it forward, and turn. You're gonna do that for about 5 minutes. Someone else can be cleaning up while you're kneading. Thank you. Let's look. Okay, so when we're doing this, we're gonna use more of the palm and less of our thumb. So throw this away. Let's get another clean sheet. And this dough actually looks really good. And I'll be right back. Once your dough is done, once your dough is done, raise your hand. If you think it's done. Thank you. Someone should be cleaning while the other person is kneading. Okay, this is a beautiful dough, okay? I would just probably knead this maybe 40 more seconds. You're gonna turn and roll, and you're just gonna turn and roll, okay? So knead that a little bit more. Greg, can you get me some, let's take, oh, that's a beautiful dough. Give me some of the large 1 gallon bags. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have you guys cut your dough. Yeah, everybody's gonna need 2 1-gallon bags in the red container. Mr. Kate, your dough, we're gonna let rest. And we're gonna put some oil in those, okay? Okay, so get 2-gallon bags, add some oil in them and push them around, and then I'll tell you what to do. Use a canola or a vegetable. You'll do the same. Let's look. Yeah, I'm on my way, Bella. I didn't forget you. Okay, so we're gonna, I did forget you, Bella. But you're not forgettable. Yes. Okay, so let's get that bowl. We're gonna let your dough rest a moment. What's one of the things when it comes to dough that people are allergic to, and it's in your dough and it makes it rubbery? Gluten. Yes. And when we work our dough, right behind you, when we work our dough, Miss Bella Rauda, what happens? We start to stretch, you're right, it stretches those gluten strands and it becomes very stretchy and it can be chewy. So we have to let it rest. So a handful of you, your doughs are done. We're letting them rest. So someone else can clean up. You're gonna need to knead this a little and you're gonna need water. So you're gonna use the palm, pull back, palm, and each time, what am I doing? I'm turning this around. Okay? But you're going to need some water on there to get it a little wetter. Okay. Raise your hand, sorry. If you think that's beautiful, don't touch it. We're going to let that rest for a moment. And I will tell you what to do. That should not be near food. All right. Okay, so let's take a look at your dough. Yeah. You guys are going to need some cold water. So someone get some cold water. Somebody. There's no why need. It's just you're on a team. And then we're going to knead this. Just put some cold water in a cup. It says I'm not measuring it. It's all good. Just a little cold water. When your dough is done, I will be right at your station, and then we're going to talk about a couple of things. Okay? So we're just adding some water here because it's dry. Okay? So then you're going to have to knead it a little. So we're going to go like this, over, and then use the palm, turn it around. Use your palm, turn it around. You're pulling this back and then turning. Okay? So you're going to do that for about 3 minutes. This is garbage. That can go in the garbage. Alrighty, so let's look. Everybody slow down. Let's look. You're good. Well, kind of. We are going to cut your dough in half, okay? We can use I'll show you in a minute. You're not going to use a knife. Nope, that's a big cutter. You actually need a little more water in this, Bella. This is. Okay, is there a container there with like 20 million dough? Yeah. Bella, grab those, walk around, give everybody one of those. Okay, this is a dough scraper, but it can also be used to cut your dough in half. It doesn't have a heavy, sharp edge. Okay, it's this white thing here, so go ahead and knead those two. So, you're going to use your dough scraper here. Everybody look up. And you're going to cut your dough in half. Okay, doesn't matter. Both sides work. So we're going to go like this. You're going to cut your dough in half. And you're going to create kind of a little ball. Okay? And then let that sit for a moment.
Who wants to do it right now?
Okay, you're going to cut that in half. Damien, come over here. Go ahead and cut that in half.
And then what else do you want us to do?
Then you're going to kind of roll it in a little ball. So we're going to take this dough like this, so, and we're just going to kind of twist it around and create a little bowl. Okay? All right? Then you can put it on the bench and kind of circle it around a little. Okay, very good. Let's take a look. I'm just feeling it. So we're just gonna go like this. We have a little separation there that we don't want. Then you are going to put this in your plastic bag. So don't mush it out too much. This is a beautiful dough. We're just gonna kind of go like this, okay? We don't want this separating because when it starts to double in size, it'll get weird, okay? Okay, someone should be cleaning up. Okay, this one's a little too, so I'm just gonna kind of flatten this out a little. I don't want all of that in there because it's not going to stay connected, okay? So if we have to keep it like this, we're gonna keep it kind of like that. Okay, you're gonna put some oil in your bag. Everybody look up. Put a teaspoon or two of oil in the bag, smush it all around, and then you're gonna put one dough ball in each one. You want there to be oil on the outside of your dough ball. Kind of, okay? Feels good. So you need oil, a vegetable, or canola, okay? Something without a big flavor, okay? Not olive oil unless you want that flavor, okay? No air in the bag. No air in the bag. Let's look. You need to cut it in half. And then you have this chunk here that's all dry. And that won't work for you. Yeah, you can cut it in half. You can just pour that in the bag, it'll be easier. Okay, and just mush it all around. Then you're going to actually put your names on the bag. Okay? Put your names on the bag. You have 2 bags with 2 loaves of dough, basically. If you need help, raise your hand. We can't let your dough be drying out, so you can't let it sit on the counter with nothing happening. Bella, you need to get back over here because your dough is drying out. Okay? So let's put it in here. Go grab your other one. And we want oil on that. It's going to help prevent it from having a skin. And that's kind of a crunchy part that we don't want. So we're going to make sure you have no air. It's okay if you have a little extra oil in there. Let's make sure we got no air. Okay? And now you're going to put your names on that. Okay? So you're going to put your names on that. And then it's going to go into the refrigerator. Anyone we can fit it in. Okay, yours is drying out a little, so we need to be kind of Johnny on the spot. Let's put that in.
You're putting it in this one, Missouri?
Yeah, you can. Make sure there's enough oil in your bag, okay? We want to make sure it doesn't dry out. All right, Damien, just pour some in there because we're going to... Oh, you're one-handed? Make sure I don't dump it on the floor. Open it up a little more. Okay, there we go.
Where's
That's too much, but that's okay. We'll get some out. So smush it all around everywhere. And then we're going to pour some in there. Okay? You're going to put your name on that. Then we're going to talk through a couple things. What? Garbage. Garbage. You can scrape it out with your dough scraper.
This read, did we put it in this read?
No, that's the freezer. You're going to put it in a refrigerator. So let's put that in there. I have a little much. And then you're going to put your name on this. Okay? Now, paper in the garbage. You can leave the recipes out. Wipe down your counter, and when you're done with that, you're going to come right up here and we're going to talk for a moment. Okay? Okay.
The legs are killing me.
Tired? Okay. Okay, we got 10 minutes. Let's do it. Okay, everybody go stand right by Miss Grooms. Paige, raise your hand. Okay, stand around there. We're gonna talk about this for a second. Everybody should have their dough in the fridge. Do not stack it on top of another dough, okay? Your dough is gonna double in size. Okay, so it's gonna rise and double in size. Dan, Kiara, just stop for 1 sec. You're my cleaning queen, I get it. Okay, so let's think of a couple things. When you guys did this, what do you think skill-wise? What do you think you actually did? Just throw a whole bunch of dough together? No. Is there any skill to what you did? Yeah, name a skill. What did you have to do? Measuring, 100%. But that's a skill. Okay, what else did you have to do? Kneading. Yeah, that's a physical skill. What did we do with our yeast? You activated it. Okay? That is another skill. You shaped your dough. So all total, you have 5 to 6 baking techniques that you guys actually used. Now, are those just things you would use at home? No. Every single one of those is utilized in the culinary world. Okay? They could be baking and pastry, it could be a kitchen. Right? So who's ever had a quiche before? It's like an egg pie. Okay? You use part of those skills for that. Anytime someone were to make bread, you use part of those skills for that. What if you want to make pretzels tomorrow? All part of those skills. Cakes. Your quick breads. You guys used a chemical leavener for that. What did we use today?
Yeast.
Yeast. Right? A living leavener. And what did that yeast feed on? Sugar. And then what did it produce? Air bubbles, farts, carbon dioxide, right? It needed to be fed. So you actually worked with what we call fermentation too. So you have multiple layers that we actually touched. If you want to be a bread maker, that follows suit. If you want to go into catering, that follows suit. If you want to just be a home baker, you have a skill with that. If you eventually want to be a research chef or write about food, all these things that you did today actually have a skill attached to it. Okay, so you guys did a fantastic job. You made your bread dough. Tomorrow we're going to cook. Now I bought things for pepperoni pizza because that dough could be used for pizza crust. We can make bagels. We could even make pretzels. Or you can just bake it as a loaf of bread. All right? So you guys did a really good job. Need to make sure everything is cleaned up. Your dough needs to go in the fridge. If you guys are done with your station, you can go back into the classroom. All right? You guys did a great job. Okay?
What's up with this?
Let's find a place in the thing.
What's this for, Miss Regan?
Okay, so let's, wait, okay, that's not gonna work. I need, okay, someone grab me the small baking trays over there. Yes, man, on your left, yes, grab me those. Okay, I'm gonna grab one at a time. Because they are gonna double in size, and we need to give it some early growth.